Okay, it's about time I filmed my first video. I've kind of been scared to make this for some reason. I've just kind of been holding back from sharing my story. Ever since I got back to Australia, I've just kind of been, I don't know. Well, let me go back. I'm Zach. So, last year I spent the whole year in Kosovo. One of the most, I guess you could say, most unknown, most misunderstood places in Europe, and one of the most fascinating geopolitical situations, and whole, I guess, ethnic identity, history, and just culture and people, and I guess it's just such a fascinating region for me personally. I know about y'all, but if you know, you know. But yeah, I want to talk about my story and actually share what happened. Because I know a lot of people, some people think I was a spy, some people think I was fucking just some Christian missionary, and some people just didn't know what the fuck. I was like a government propagandist. No one really knows like what I was doing out there. And even me at times, like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing out there. I was just being me. And yeah, so I'll take you back to like, why did I come to Kosovo? Like, what the fuck was I doing out there in the first place? Which is a question I get all the time. So basically, I was hiking around the peaks of the Balkans. I just booked this hike randomly. I didn't know anything about Kosovo, Montenegro. Came to Albania. I fucking loved Albania. And yeah, I was just excited to explore these new places. And boy, those 10 days out in the mountains were the best 10 days of my life. Like, if I tell you like what you see and what you experience out in the north of Albania, and the hospitality, the types of people you meet, and just that raw feeling of just being in such it's kind of like traveling back in time almost. It's just like truly untouched communities, not necessarily untouched, but just like the culture is just so strong, and the hospitality is amazing, the people are amazing, and I fell in love. I'd never been treated so well. I'd never been had such a cool experience in such a beautiful environment, that I just felt peace at once. Like I hadn't experienced that before. And so after that hike, I told my hiking guide, Donna, like, can I just stay here? Like, I don't want to leave. Like, can I live in Kosovo? And so he brought me out to Kosovo, back to Paya with him, which is like a town just at the crest of this beautiful canyon, Rugova Canyon. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful women as well. And I told him I wanted to live in Paya. He said, "Nah, you don't want to live in this." Because it's got a small town, not many two people speak English in Paya. And so we then went, me and a few others, he invited us to this engagement party in Pristina. And that's when things started to get more fun and exciting. And made it to the city. It was buzzing. Young people, young, beautiful girls, and also just other just a young energy, just vibes, people up and about. Like, I was having the time of my life at the engagement party. I was absolutely off my head, but I didn't want to go. So that night I pretty much decided, like, okay, I actually want to live in Kosovo, just see what it's like. So just growing up in Melbourne my whole life, I was kind of fucking sick of this. Like, to be honest, it's kind of like a bubble living in these cities, especially kind of the life I had personally, like working at 9 to 5, working sales at the time. Yeah, I just wanted to get out of it, and that's why I was like over in Europe at the time. But yeah, so like went to the sister's engagement party. I told Donna that night that I'm moving to Kosovo, that he better find me a fucking place to stay. And I went back to Albania. The next day, he drove us to Albania. Spent some more time fucking around in Albania. Love Albania. Most beautiful beaches and coastline in the Mediterranean, I reckon. And then yeah, came back to Kosovo. I was I moved in October, so I was only planning to stay there for 2 months. That 2 months ended up being over a year. So yeah, when I first got there, my plan was just like figure out how the fuck I can make money online. Like, how am I gonna make some money? I'm just gonna post content. I wanted to like sell some hiking trips up around the mountains, and yeah, through the content that just led me to just meeting some of the most amazing, incredible people, and just learning so much more about the country, hearing so many beautiful stories, which I found so incredibly interesting, especially what Kosovo has been through, the people have been throughout the war, even before the war, Yugoslavia, just like the history going all the way back to Dardania and Illyria. It's quite a tremendous story, and it changed how I view the world, and just view myself. It was like, what actually kind of happened that led me to staying so as long as I did out in Kosovo was, it was actually through, I guess, it was like through Skanderbeg in a way, like through learning more about Skanderbeg and what he did to defend Europe, got me looking into Christianity and actually reading the Bible for the first time. And that made me decide it's time to start following Jesus. Like at the time, it was when I was kind of going through all this period of events. I just met the president, the prime minister of Kosovo. I just decided to start a software company whilst we were out there. Met my business partner, and I brought my best mate over from Australia. He ditched a family holiday in Portugal to come live out there with me, and it was all this was happening centered around this small Christian coffee shop in Pristina, ran by an American couple, and then also this guy Donny, who was my pastor. Absolutely love that guy. And yeah, they showed me the love of Christ. I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen Christians that were actually, that I could really see true Christianity through them working. And yeah, I decided to start following Christ, and that led me to decide to take the risk. Continue. Like, I was meant to go home from Kosovo like in January. I wasn't expecting to stay out there for so long, or like even December, like before Christmas. But through faith and Christ, I guess I was just like, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? I just want to see what I can do out here. I just want to share how much this country has to offer. Like, because people don't know anything about Kosovo and the people and the stories, and especially from like the West, like the Western world, like America, Australia, Canada, and even like the UK, they don't know anything about Kosovo. And it's, I don't know, it is a small country, but it's like, for me at least, I found it so interesting. And even the feedback I was getting from people from overseas, it's like, it is such a fascinating place. And some of the most incredible people, like the amount of messages I got from people who had traveled to Kosovo that had absolutely loved the place, and even foreigners I was meeting in Kosovo that absolutely adored Kosovo. And everyone spoke so highly of it. And yeah, like I just grew like such a deep sense of love towards the people because of just how much they've been through. I mean, it's quite inspiring, the story of Kosovo, and it's quite a miracle that it even exists today. And it made me a lot more grateful for like growing up in Australia and having the life I grew up with, and then seeing, I guess, knowing what that country went through in 1999 and speaking face to face to people who went through that. Literal, I don't even want to explain some of the stories, but that I heard, they're horrific. But yeah, that's what really kind of inspired me to just kind of push out this message. I didn't know where it was going to lead to, what I was going to do, and even looking back on my time out there, it's like I feel like I could have done a lot more. And I was scared shitless as well. Even though like I had faith, I had no idea what I was doing. Like we were building a company out there, like still kind of building it. Things didn't go as planned out whilst we were out there, and which led us coming back to Australia, which now is kind of set back in kind of the old life and the habits, but it's just made me just love and miss Kosovo even more, and just make me want to do as much as I possibly can when I do go back out there. I don't know when I will be out there. Like I'm aiming for around May, April time. I really want to, and just really, I guess, show what, like, I don't know how to describe it. I just want to, like, show as much of Kosovo, Albania, 'cause I love the story of both those countries, or just the Albanian people in general. I believe it's like a narrative and a story that's just kind of been suppressed. That it's like I want to push that out. I want to push that story out because it's such a beautiful story, and it's one of the, I guess, the Albanian people have probably suffered a lot more than a lot of places in the entire world. Like, in comparison, I'd say. I don't know. You guys ain't ever tried to start any wars. It's always fucking offenders coming in. But yeah. So these are just my thoughts. I just wanted to get out like a YouTube video. I've never made a YouTube video talking like this, or really. I was just scared to make this, but that's kind of my story, like why I was doing what I was doing, and it's the job's not done yet. Like I'm still bullish as ever on Kosovo. Still want to build and grow out there, and I see there's much more opportunity, especially from being out there and my time I spent out there, than what anything I could ever do and the impact I could ever make back home in Melbourne. And it's really, the more people I'm meeting from Kosovo and the more people, builders and creators, like the more inspired I get every single day. But thank you guys for listening to my thoughts, me ramble. I love you guys. I'm going to be making some more YouTube videos. This is kind of like my first one, and yeah. I mean, there's still, ask me some questions in the comments and I'll I'll share more of my story. This is kind of just like a brief kind of explain of like why I did what I did while I was out in Kosovo and where I am now. So I'm back in Melbourne. But yeah, thank you. Love you all. God bless.